about The Legend of Old Befana by Tommy DePaula, or retold. The story is really, really old. They don't know how old it is. So let's learn about La Befana, since you will make a puppet for her later today. In a small house on the outskirts of a small village in Italy lived Old Befana. She lived all alone, and she wasn't very friendly. If any people dared to knock at her door, she never asked them in. "I have no time for visiting," Old Befana would say. The children didn't like her either. "Cranky old lady," they would say. "And the way she's always sweeping." That was true. Every day, every morning, and every afternoon, Old Befana would sweep with her broom. She swept her little house, she swept her front step, and she even swept her walk all the way down to the road. Sometimes a delicious smell of things baking would drift from Old Befana's house. Whom does she bake for? Her neighbors were curious. And some nights they thought they heard her singing lullabies. Crazy old La Befana, they would call her. One evening, after Old Befana had eaten her dinner and swept her kitchen clean, she began to get ready for bed. She locked the door and shuttered the windows. Then she climbed in her bed, blew out the lamp, and fell asleep. In the middle of the night, Old Befana woke up. The room was bright. "How can that be?" she asked. "My lamp is out, my windows are shuttered, but my house is still full of light." She got out of the bed and crossed the cold floor. When she opened the shutter, a sudden burst of light entered the room. In the eastern sky she saw a brilliant star, which seemed to grow before her eyes. "Hurrah!" said Old Befana, closing the shutter as tightly as she could. "How am I ever going to get back to sleep with that bright light?" All night she tossed and turned and did not sleep a wink. At dawn, Old Befana got up and got dressed. She ate her breakfast, then took her broom, as she did every day, and swept her little house, swept her front step. She even swept the walk all the way down to her road. When she neared the road, Old Befana stopped and listened. She heard bells tinkling. "It's probably just the wind," she said. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Again she heard bells. "It's probably just the birds singing," she said. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Once more she heard the sound. "My old ears are playing tricks on me," she said. Sweep, sweep. Suddenly over the hill came the most glorious procession. Procession is a fancy word for parade. Camels, horses, elephants, and people, a splendid sight. Halfway back rode 3 royal-looking men, dressed in jeweled robes and wearing crowns on their heads. The procession stopped and the 3 kings got down. "Please," said one of the kings in a royal voice, "is this the way to Bethlehem?" "How can I say?" said Old Befana. "I never heard of it." And she began to sweep. "We are looking for the child," said the second king. "Do you know of him?" "There are many children," said Old Befana, still sweeping. "But this one is the king," said the third. "I know nothing of royal matters," she said, and she went back to sweeping. Our books have told us that when the bright new star appears, the child king will be born in Bethlehem. "The star I've seen," said Old Befana. "It kept me awake all night. Now, if you excuse me, I have work to do." The procession started up again. "Old woman," called a boy who was leading a camel, "you should come with us. This child, this baby king, has come to change the world. He comes for us. He comes for the poor. We are bringing him gifts." Old Befana paused. She watched the procession wind down the road. "A child king," she muttered. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Gifts, only a child. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Old Befana went back into the house. "Perhaps I should go see him, but what do I have to take him as a gift?" She put down her broom. She got out some butter, sugar, and flour. She blew on the fire, helped her blow on the fire, added some wood, and began to sing. She baked all day. She didn't even sweep. It was almost dark when she finished. Then she filled a basket with all the cake, cookies, and candies she had made. I'll take a few coals in a little pot to keep the cookies warm, she said. She put on a shawl and opened the door. And I'll take around my broom to sweep the room clean, for the baby's king mother should be tired. Old Befana stopped. She hadn't swept all day. It won't take me long, she said. She put down the basket and began to sweep. She swept her little house, she swept her front step, and she even swept the walk all the way down to the road. Then she locked up her door and gathered up her basket. She pulled her shawl around her and took up her broom. Old Befana was on her way at last. She ran at first, ran and ran as fast as her legs could carry her. The sun had set, but she still ran. Her breath came short, her old legs ached, but still she ran, just a little bit slower. At last she sat beside the road. Old Befana could run no more. I should have left earlier, she said. I'll never catch up, and where is Bethlehem? She cried. She closed her eyes and gave a long sigh. I'll never find the baby king. Suddenly, the sky was filled with light, and heavenly angels sang. Old Befana rose to her feet. Tell me where the king is, she cried. She began to walk and then run again. Wait, she shouted, you must help me, she told the voices. Show me the way. Old Befana began to feel lighter. She ran faster and faster, so fast it took her breath away. She was running in the sky. It was a night of miracles. Old Befana never caught up. She never did find the child king, but she is searching still to this day. Every year on the Feast of the Three Kings, January the 6th, Old Befana runs across the sky. She visits all children while they sleep and leaves some gifts in baskets. Then she takes her broom and sweeps the room clean. For, after all, says Old Befana, I never know which child might be the baby king. The end. Now go retell the legend of La Befana or Old Befana.